In 1933, at 61, Denhart divorced his wife and retired from public life. He moved to an 800-acre ranch. It was a lonely life, to be sure, but he eventually met and became enchanted with Verna Garr Taylor. Now, Taylor was no spring chicken. At 40, she was also divorced, with 2 nearly grown daughters. But she seemed to be a bit of a catch. She had a successful laundry business of her own and was known, as later reported in Life magazine, as the most beautiful woman in 2 counties. Some wondered what she saw in the balding, stocky Denhart. Their courtship nevertheless bloomed, and the couple soon became engaged. Denhart was a lucky guy. Until November 7th, 1936, that is. On the night in question, the couple went for a drive to get a little air. Along the way, Denhart later said, they had some car trouble and were forced to pull over at the side of the road. Denhart said that because he didn't feel well, he stayed in the car while Taylor walked to a nearby gas station for help. 2 men eventually came back to Denhart's car and pushed it to the station. When the gas station owner finally came to examine the car, Taylor was nowhere in sight. Denhart said she had walked up the road to look for a glove she'd lost. When she didn't return, they went to look for her and found her several hundred feet down the road, dead from a bullet to the heart. The shot had been fired from Denhart's .45 Army revolver, which was kept in his glove compartment. The gun was on the ground by her side. The trial in Newcastle, Kentucky was the highlight of the spring season. More than 1,000 spectators turned out, many of them bringing picnics to enjoy on the courthouse lawn. Denhart vowed from the start that his fiancée had committed suicide. He said she had been upset and depressed because one of her daughters opposed their marriage. But rumor had it that the murder was the fatal result of a love triangle, with the third party being Chester Woolfolk, a handsome 27-year-old Verna had hired as her laundry truck driver. Had Denhart been jilted and killed Taylor in revenge? The evidence certainly seemed to point that way. Though Denhart said he hadn't fired the gun in 6 months, powder burns were found on his person. Verna, however, had none, indicating she hadn't handled the weapon. It also emerged at the trial that deep heel marks from Taylor's shoes had been found close to her body at the scene of her death, indicating that she had been involved in a struggle. Yet despite the evidence, the trial ended in a hung jury. While Denhart awaited a new trial in the fall, a separate incident came up. Patricia Wilson, a local party girl, had been found dead in an elevator shaft in Louisville the year before. Now her family was blaming Henry Denhart for her death. Though Denhart claimed to have never met her, it wasn't an ideal allegation to have hanging over his head while he awaited trial on Verna's murder charge. But fate wasn't satisfied to wait for the jury's verdict. On September 20th, 1937, the night before his new trial, Denhart was leaving his lawyer's office when he was gunned down by the 3 Garr brothers, Verna Taylor's siblings, who had laid in wait in order to avenge their sister's murder. All 3 men were acquitted of any wrongdoing.